We'll start where we left, and tomorrow will be the last day. Today also we are going to complete the class-based thing. Hook base is actually very small, so we're going to complete the hook based in tomorrow only. And we have learned a lot of concept in class base that will apply to hook base. So let's get started. Let me start sharing my screen. So this is still here. We have done this control component. We have learned in the previous class the control component. Okay, let me also check whether I'm live or not. Okay, so hello all. I think I'm live. Okay, 1 sec. Yeah, I'm live. 1 sec. Let me also check once more. Yeah. So yeah, I'm live. Yeah. So there is class today. Why not? So if you are given in WhatsApp, so why not there will be class? Okay. So this till here we have done. Yeah. Yeah, we are live. Okay. So Chanchal is watching from LinkedIn. Okay, Chanchal, you can come to YouTube also and you can watch it. So that is there. And let 1 sec. Okay. So till here we have done the demo form. Today we are going to start with a very complicated topic. Okay, first, and that complicated topic is known as lifecycle methods. Okay, lifecycle methods we are going to start. So after state lifecycle method is a very important concept. Okay, very important concept. So let me also show some slide for that. Okay, I will, if you want I can share these slides also. Okay, so lifecycle method. So what happens in React, the component actually passes through different places. So that is known as how the control is getting passed from one place to another. So that is known as lifecycle method. Lifecycle method comes into that. Okay, so suppose when in a class-based component there is a constructor is there, so maybe that is called first, and then after that a render is there. Similar to constructor and render are also one lifecycle method. Similar to that, there are other lifecycle methods are there. We have till now only seen constructor and render. There is one more another lifecycle important lifecycle method. So before lifecycle method there are phases. There is like one is mounting phases, one is updating phase, and one is unmounting. What is this mounting phase? See, when I have a component like this and I'm not doing anything here, I'm not touching it, the first time it ran, then the mounting phase run. The moment I touch it and write something here or submit something and do anything by which the state gets changed or some props comes in, then the other methods which are known as the updating phases and the other phase, it's not a method, phase which is known as updating phase, they run. So there are two important phases. Unmounting phase is something which we are going to learn when we are going to learn hooks. Yesterday, tomorrow we are going to learn hooks, and at that time we are going to learn the unmounting phase. Okay, so that is there. And now let me share this. Okay, now there's some methods there. Then what is this mounting lifecycle? We're going to see it through an example. Okay, so this mounting lifecycle methods, the constructor runs first. So this is the order in which they run. The constructor runs first, then the static get derived state from props, and then the render, and then the component did mount. Component did mount is a very important state here. Okay, and let us learn a bit about all of them. Constructor, it's a special function which is called whenever a new component is created. Okay, whenever new component is created, this will be called. Constructor is a perfect perfect for initializing state and binding event handlers. So we have seen this thing that this is the place where we initialize the state or bind the event handlers. We've seen both of these things. Okay, bind this we have seen. Okay, don't do HTTP request from the constructor. Need to call a special function super props. This is required to have access to the this dot props in a component. So that is the reason we use this super can set state directly with this dot state only in the constructor, not in any other place. Every other place we use this dot set state, and this is a really used lifecycle method. Actually, we're not going to use it. I don't know why React team have kept it in a class-based concept, but when you're going to do in the go in the hooks, this method is not there. Get derived state from props. Render is it's the only required method. Read props and state and return JSX. Okay, and component did mount. Render, we have seen that even if component this constructor is not there, render is required. Component did mount. This is the most important method in the mounting phase. This method will be called only once. Okay, it is been invoked after the component and its child component have been rendered in the DOM. Perfect place to initialize to the DOM or to do HTTP request. So we are going to see today that if you want to do HTTP request, we are going to do from this DOM. we're going to do from this DOM. So it is very important place. And this is why important, because see, if you know HTML is a JavaScript project, in that the script tag we always keep at the last. Script tag we always keep at last. So first let the DOM get rendered, everything in the HTML get rendered, then the JavaScript will run, which will do HTTP requests or something like that. In the HTML is vanilla JavaScript project I'm talking. So it is also maybe equivalent to like that. Suppose first let everything be run, then we are going to run this thing, and here only we do the API call. Just like in JavaScript we do API call. We do API call here only. Let first everything get loaded, then we'll do something. Okay, let the DOM get loaded. Let everything get displayed in the screen. Then we will do this thing. So that is component did mount. Okay. Now we are going to use this all here. So let me make it small. Now I will create a new file. Okay. So new component, and that component is parent lifecycle.js, parent lifecycle.js, and then RCE. Okay, so this parent lifecycle is there. Then I will have a const, and then name is I'll give the same name. So the main thing of this component is to know how the control flows in React. Okay, so we'll have a lot of console.logs. We'll see a very practical example tomorrow when we're going to do hooks. Okay, so again we're going to revisit this thing because this is a very important thing. So like this I'll have, and then this parent lifecycle, and constructor I will have constructor. Then this will be there, and here we'll first have the static get derived state from props. Static get derived state from props. It will take props comma state, and then lg like this. Okay, and it will be having this parent lifecycle get. We really use this lifecycle method. Okay, get derived state from props. Okay, so that is there. Then we'll have it needed to be return something, so return null I'll do. Then we'll have this component did mount. Okay, that is good. It is showing the recommendations. Okay, so console log, I will just put up component did mount, then render clg. Okay, parent lifecycle method, render, and in this return h1, I will show this this dot state dot name. I'll show this thing, right? So this is the whole of the thing, like I put it. Okay, so now what I need to do, I need to show this parent lifecycle method, and maybe I'll remove all these things and come here and do a parent lifecycle method like this. And so see, this parent lifecycle method has been shown. Let me also inspect console and see, it has been shown like this. Constructor get derived state from props, render, and component did mount. See, render ran first before the component did mount. So that is the render run before the component did mount. Okay, component did mount, and at the last. So it doesn't matter. See, the order is like this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It will come after here. It will come here only. So now what will happen if I have a child lifecycle method also? Then what will happen? So let us do that. Let us put a child lifecycle method also. So I will go here and do a child life cycle.js RCE, not functional. Okay, RCE, because the Lifecycle methods are only in the class based. Okay, so functional component we use a different thing. So here what I'm going to do, the code will be same, so it's better to copy it. I will cut it and I will copy it here, and what I'm going to do, this parent lifecycle is there, C Control F, I will do it with child lifecycle and replace it, and this is done. Okay, so this is done, and now where do we want to call this? We call this one the parent, so we will call this one a parent. This dot state is there, and then we'll call this child lifecycle. From here, save it, and let me cut it one because I don't know, and refresh it. Okay, so now see how it is working. Parent lifecycle constructor get derived state from props render, and after the render only it has gone here. The child lifecycle constructor get derived state from render, child lifecycle component did mount, and at the end the component did mount of the parent lifecycle method ran. So that is how it is there. It worked. Now that is there. Now we are going to see the other there is other phase which is known as the updating phase. So this is the mounting phase, this is the other phase is known as the updating phase, which we have seen updating phase. So it starts from here. Let me start the slideshow. So okay, so they are like static get derived state from props is again there, should component update, a new thing is there, render is there, get snapshot before update, and component did update. See here you not find constructor, you not find component did mount, which I told that it's a very important matter, but we have something known as component did update. Okay, yeah, good evening Heyman, good evening Dolphin. Okay, so get derived state from props is there. See, this method is called every time a component is been rendered. Again, this is really something we're not going to learn much about it because in the hooks also they are not there. Then the should component update. It used to be used earlier for optimization, but I'm going to tell a better way in hooks through which we do optimization. The render, it is the only we have learned about that. Component get a snapshot before update. Again, we don't use it. Okay, so component derivative, this is the most important method in the updating phase, called after render is finished in the re-render cycle. Use a snapshot, that is okay, can be used to do HTTP request. Actually it is the equivalent of component did mount. Component did mount doesn't run in the updating phase. Now what is updating phase? Updating phase is the phase in which I will interact with the DOM. So that is the updating phase. I will interact with the DOM, change it, maybe some state I will change, maybe some props will come. So that is known as the your updating phase. Okay, so let me come here and do that, and we're going to add something more here. So in the parent lifecycle method, I'm going to add this 3 new methods. So I'll come here, and the order doesn't matter. Order doesn't matter. The way it will run. Order doesn't matter. Should component update, then we'll have this thing CLG like should component update done true. So it have to send something. Okay, then we'll have get snapshot before update. It is good, it is showing me priv props comma priv state here and CLG, and it should be get snapshot before update, and then return null is there. Then the most important method in this phase is the component did update. Component did update is the most important one. Then this thing CLG and component did update is there. Then okay, this method doesn't run like that. Okay, you have to change the state, and for that only we have this name lifecycle method. Okay, this we have for that reason only. So I will come here and do a button, and it will be change state like this, and then here I'll have a on click equal to like this dot set state name is the web dev. Okay, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the web dev channel. So change state I've done, and then okay, so this all of this are done here. So the state will get changed, but let us add all these three new lifecycle methods in the child lifecycle also. So I'll come here and add it here, but here I will change the name. So I'll go here and the parent and the child, I'll change it and save it. Okay, so that is done. Now if I come here, inspect console, remove it, refresh it. So these phases which are running, these are again the mounting phase. Let me delete it. Now I will change the state. See, there is no constructor in the when the state gets changed, no constructor is there. The main thing is there, constructor was there in the mounting phase. Then there is no component did mount, so it is like different. Get a snap, did it from props, should component update render, and so it is totally different states are there here. Okay, so that is there, and this completes the lifecycle method. As I have told, we are going to revisit this again. So now we are going to see another topic which is known as a refs. So refs are very important in React, and for showing refs, let me also make it a bit smaller. Okay, so we have seen this demo form. Earlier we've seen this demo form, which is a React way to do your forms, do your input and all those things. So we have like this round and round thing, which I've told that they like this on change goes to here and then it comes back. So round and round thing, and it's a bit complicated topic, not that complicated, a bit complicated topic. Okay, hello Parth. So that is there, and there is another way like refs, which actually give us. So React, if you see, React never accesses DOM element directly. It works on something known as the virtual DOM. Okay, it is totally different way, but because DOM is actually very slow. JavaScript projects are slow also because of the reason, because they directly access a DOM. When we DOM means what? So like this is a DOM, this is a DOM, this is a DOM. They directly access a DOM element and they changes it, so it is very slow. So but when React came into the picture, at that time jQuery was very popular, so there were a lot of things which used to not run in React, and for that we used to require DOM access a lot, like passing by and all this. Nowadays React have like most number of npm packages are in React. The anything which you think about, it has been coded right now in React. React is so popular. Or if you think that I want to do form validation, there is a package for it. I want to create a good looking table, there is a package for it. I want to have like the Tinder kind of a swiping effect, there is a package for that. Everything package is there. So earlier there was not packages like that. So there is the React team released something known as the refs, through which you can do DOM kind of a coding. You can get access to the DOM, and React team says that you should use that as a last resort. You should not use it all the time, getting access to the DOM, because it slows down React. But in React it uses in a different way. I have not seen it slowing down the React project, a lot of my colleagues used to use this refs, because I'm going to change this code into refs first, and you're going to see how easy it is, and then we are going to see a thing which can be done only with refs. So like the Facebook team say that you should use it only when it is required. We'll see that also. So as I've told, we are going to change this project, this form into a refs, okay, using refs. So there are many other uses of refs also. We're going to see a practical use of refs. Maybe we're going to see if we have time. So I'll come here and do a refs demo.js. Okay, and then I will do a RCE and here and go like this, and then refs demo. I'll call this refs demo. This refs demo has been shown. Now, as I've told, I want to show this. First, I will have this const constructor, but we will not going to use a state. The main thing is that we're not going to state. State is a React concept. We're going to use something how to access a different pattern we are going to see. Okay, the refs pattern. So as I've told, let us use this. Let me take one less, means why to have such a big form. I'll not take this options thing because again it is going to have the same thing. So I will remove this one. Let's make it a bit more easier. So we'll have this form we'll have, and then what happens here, like, okay, so again we don't have this anything like this. Neither we require the value, neither we require the on chain. So we are going to remove this thing. Neither we require the value nor we require the on chain. Then what do we do? So what we do here, there is something known as ref. So, and that is also accessed through this dot. What is it called? Maybe I will call it user ref. User ref equal to react dot create ref. React dot create ref. So we want two refs variable. So I will have again one more, and this one will be this is known as, maybe I'll call it a comment ref. COMMENT comment ref I will call. Now how do we use it in the input box? So here I have to come and do a ref equal to this dot user ref, and ref equal to this dot comment ref, like this. Okay, so these two things I'm going to have now, and I'm going to get access to it. Okay, so how do I get access to it? Here we will have this handle submit. We're going to have this handle submit, and we're going to see how we're going to have this here. Okay, so handle submit equal to like this. Arrow function, we should always take arrow function as I told. Now, where do we get access to these values? Here in the handle submit, if you see, we got access to this value as a this dot state. But where do we get access to that? So let me do CLG, and here we get access to this with this dot user ref dot current. Dot current is very important. Current dot value, and the other one is will be this dot comment ref dot current dot value. I'll save it. Now let me open the console and let me show the thing. Like, I'll enter this thing. This is good. Submit it, and it has gone away. Why it has gone away? Because I forgot to do one thing in handle submit, because I have to do this. Here also I have to do this thing. E dot pre not this dot handle. E dot prevent DEFAULT dot prevent default. I have to do save it. Now I will again do this thing, and this is good. All right, submit it, and see I'm going to get access to it. So I don't have to have all the crazy things like cycle and all those things. So this is another way we can use it, like easily. Like in comparison to this, there is a lot less code, lot less understanding. But React team said, okay, we should not use it like this. But when we should use it? See, there is there is a one thing which is there in the DOM known as focus. So what happened with the focus? When the DOM gets loaded, so in this form, a user have to go here and click here. So what if this click happens directly there, like this blinking thing directly comes here? That will be good for a good user experience. So how do we do that? So there is something in the DOM, not in React. It is a very DOM level thing through which we can have a dot focus method is there, through which we can come here. So when should I have the DOM focus? So there is now one very important thing, like very good use case of component did mount. Okay, so component did mount, I'll do component did mount, and here I'll do, and component did mount. Why I will do? Because let first the whole DOM be loaded, then I will run this thing. Okay, let first the whole DOM be loaded. Be very practical example of component did mount. Then I'll do a this dot u. What is coming? Just type this dot user ref dot current dot focus dot current dot focus. Okay, dot current dot focus. I'll do save it now. I'll refresh it. See, this is coming automatically. This is coming automatically. This is the focus, and this is about the refs. Okay, this is about the refs. Now we are going to see our second last topic in a class base, and that topic is like context API. Context API is a very important topic. Okay, context API is a very important topic which we are going to see. What happens with context API? Okay. So in props, we have seen like the data passes from one component to another. So I'll come here and suppose I have this thing in which I need to pass the data from an app component to a component C. Component A and B doesn't require that. Component A and B doesn't require that. And I want to pass the data from component here till here, component A to C. I want to pass the data like that. But with the props thing, I cannot do like this. They are connected like this. So I have to pass from component A to component app component to component A, component A to component B to component C forcefully. And what if there are 50 components between them? Then I have to pass to 50 components. And this is also known as prop dealing, a big issue in React. So to solve these things, there are 2-3 ways. One is the context API. One is Redux. Redux is the overkill for a small thing, and Redux again it's a long thing. I didn't have a lot Redux training for a long time, but I have Redux 5-day courses also on the channel. Okay, previously. Okay, so you can check them out. So that is there. Now what we are going to do here, how to do the context API. So it is a different way to do this context API. It is not like that easy, so it's better to learn it. Example. So again, okay, why did I close it? Okay, so that is there. Now what I'm going to do here, we are going to have something like this of a child 3 component level. So here I'm going to go, and here I first going to create a child.js, and child.js RCE child.js, and this will be there, and like this it will be there. Child, maybe a h1 child will be there. Then we'll come here and do a parent.js, and RCE parent will be there. Okay, parent will be there, and this parent will do what? Parent will call the child, child component it will call. Then we'll come here and we'll have a grandparent.js RCE, and grandparent will call the parent like this. I'll save it, and finally the grandparent will be called from this app, grandparent will be called from here. Save it. So the child will be shown, because on app the grandparent is called, grandparent or parent is called, from parent the child is called. So suppose I want to pass the data from here to the child. So the normal prop is like passing here, then it will go here, it will go here, it will go here. But I just want to pass this to the child. So we are not going to pass through props. We're going to see another way, which is known as context API. So how to do the context API? So we'll come here, and we are going to revisit this context API again tomorrow when we are going to do hooks. Okay, so I will go here, and we can do it in the app.js also. Tomorrow we're going to see how to do it in the app.js, but this time we will going to create a different file, like it will be called user context dot js, user context dot js. Here we'll first have a import React from React, then we'll have a const user context equal to React dot create context. React dot create context will have, and then const user provider. So what happens in a context, there are two parts. One is a provider. From provider we send the data, and there is a consumer. So they can be at any place, like it is not like that it should be in this some order. So provider, we generally provider will have the highest component, and this consumer can have anywhere. Okay, so provider, so we have to create the provider. Once user provider equal to user context dot provider, and then const user consumer equal to user context dot consumer, and then export user provider comma user consumer, user provider comma user consumer. So that is there. So this is how we are also exporting it. So now how to use this as a provider? So provider, there is only one way to use it, and that is like wrapping the main component with a user provider. So I'll come here and do a user provider, and like this I'll do, and then user provider and value is a keyword here, and then we'll pass some string just like we used to pass in a props. So I'll pass a string, a value like this. I'll pass and save it. Okay, I'll save it. Now how we're going to use it in the child? To use it in the child, actually there are two ways. First we'll see the complicated way, then we'll see the easy way. Okay, so the complicated way, but in class based the complicated way is also required some other time. Okay, so here this is how we do the provider. The code is always same, but the consume things, there are two ways. One is the render process, which is actually the a bit of old way, render process way, and other is the new way. Okay, so we're going to see that. So in that, what we have, so what I want this data Nabendu to be accessible here. So first thing is that I'm going to wrap it with user consumer, as I told, the consumer will be there. Then I will have it like this. Then I will have a user like this. Okay, user, this can be anything, like this will contain the value, but this can be anything. This can be anything. This is not a keyword. So like this I will have. Then I will have a return like this, and then like this, and h1 is child component, and h3 is hello user. So now you'll see, so this pattern is not that much easy. This is known as the render prop pattern, and it will get complicated if you pass another thing. We're going to complicate it further tomorrow. Okay, so I'll have it and see child component. The main thing is this hello Navindu is coming, so this I'm able to get it, and I'm not passing it through grandparent or parent, directly from app to child I'm getting it. So this is one of the way, but this way is complicated, and there is another way to do this same thing. But for that we need to do a default export also. So export default default user context I'm going to do, save it. Then we can do it in the child, but I want you all to have this code. Okay, today, yes, yesterday I forgot to give the code. I'll give the GitHub today. Okay, so that is there, and we are going to do it in the parent. Okay, so that we can learn it how to do it. So here what happens, I'll come here, no render props kind of pattern, but here also I don't like this pattern a bit. A lot of keyword is there, static is a keyword, then context type, this is again a keyword, equal to user context you have to again import it, user context. Then here I'll go and do like this, then child will be there. So because I want to have this, and then the h1 and parent comes this dot context. This dot context. Again, a lot of keywords are there. This dot context will have this thing. It should have in context type, but I don't know this dot context. And the problem with this matter is that you can pass only one value. Okay, suppose I have another props, then I cannot do it. But we are going to see another very easy way in hooks. Okay, so I'll save it. So this parents welcome Nabindu. So this is like this the context is happening here. So this is how it is there. So we are done with this, but we are not now going to come with the most important logic for a front end developer. The most important thing for a front end developer, the code which I'm going to tell right now, that can get you a job. So that is there like that. So the most important job for a front end developer is to get an API call from the backend engineer like this, like a JSON placeholder. This I've told earlier. Like this API call they will get from the API endpoint. They will get from a backend engineer, and then they are going to. Okay, one more thing. Okay, I forgot to do this thing, which is attendance. Well, let me give this attendance. Maybe we are going. This is the last topic because we are come to the last topic, so it's good to give the attendance. Okay. Not seeing. So day 3 attendance is like this. Day 3 attendance. This will the day 3 attendance. I don't know whether it is going on LinkedIn. One sec. I will. Maybe someone is watching from LinkedIn also. Okay. So day 3. Okay, a lot of people are watching from LinkedIn. So day 3 attendance. Please fill the day 3 attendance. I've marked it in the comment. Please fill it just because we give a participation certificate of those who don't know. So day 3 attendance given at both places. Now what? Okay, so now we are going to learn the last topic, which is like the most important topic out there, which is how to do the API call, how to do the API call to hit. But this is what the front end engineer do day in day out. This is their bread and butter. Everything is this. Okay, so they get an API endpoint from the user. Like everything work like this. Okay, even Amazon also work like this. And the front end engineers on Amazon, what they do, they have some API endpoint like this. Okay, where is this? Products, they get some API endpoint like this from the backend engineer, and front end engineer doesn't need to know how the data is coming on. So back it comes from the database and all, so that they will get, and that then they will loop through this thing and show all of this thing on Amazon.com. Okay, and the face of it. Okay, so like this images, a lot of images. Actually, this is a very small API, but Amazon there will be 4 5 images of a mobile and all those things. So this is how everything works. This is how the internet works actually. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to hit this endpoint, and this endpoint how we are going to use. So again, there are two ways to do API call through React. One is the fetch API, which we have I think already seen in JavaScript how to do that. That is one way, and another way is there is a very good library known as Axios. So Axios we are not going to see right now. We can see right now, but we are going to see it in the hooks. Tomorrow we are going to see it in hooks. So now here we're going to hit this endpoint. So let me make something like this is the component. It will be post list dot post list dot js, and rcc I'll do. No, not RCC. RCE is much better. RCE I will do the shortcut. Then I will come here and a post list. I will go. Then I will save it here, and then I'll comment this out. I want you to have this code, so I'll comment this out, and then I will come here and do a post list. I'll do post list. I'll do save it. So post list is just like this, it is coming. So how to do the API call? See, we do the with the fetch API, we do the API call exactly like what we do in vanilla JavaScript. And we can use, again, we can use two ways, either the async await way or the then and catch block way. Okay, so rconst, but we'll do the rconst here, means constructor will do. And we, since we're getting back, we're not going to use this thing. Since we are getting back this thing, like post, this is the post. So what we are going to do, we are going to have a post here, which is an array. Then I have to do a component did mount, okay, component did mount, and we are going to see the fetch API. So component did mount. Why I'm doing in component design? That's why the component demand is very much useful. The most important lifecycle method out there, because it runs after the initial mounting is done. So today only we have learned the constructor and render, everything runs. So, and this is the only place which we can do the API. Other places there component did update, but I have hardly seen people doing it there, because that happens after we change the state. Generally the API calls are made even in a site like Amazon at the start only, not at the end. At the start, when you go to amazon.com, everything will get loaded. Amazon is also made on React. Everything is made on React except Google sites. Okay, except Google sites like YouTube and all. Everything on this planet are made on React. Okay, so that is there. So component did mount is there. The front end means back end. There are a lot of technologies. So component did mount. We'll go to this const URL equal to this URL I'll do, and this URL I'll do. Then const res equal to await fetch URL. Okay, so I'm using fetch here, but where to use the async now? So async, we have to make the function async. So component did not is the function. I can make it async. So this is how you do it. Async. Component did not await. There is one. And fetch if it doesn't work in one go, it requires two things. Okay, so we'll do a const post equal to await res dot json, await res dot json. I'll do, so it runs in two times. So clg, let me see what is coming in the post. So let me see that. I will save it and I will see. I'm getting all that data back. Okay, 100 data back I'm getting. So now I'm getting the data back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it in a state. So let me set it in a state. So we have a state for that. So this dot set state is post is equal to post. See, if you can see correctly, this post, these are both white color, and this is like a blue color. This is like a blue color because this is this post and this is this post. But there is something in ES6 in which if you do something like this, you can omit this thing, and I'll omit this. I'll use the shortcut. I love shortcuts. I'll use this thing. And now, where to display this post? Actually, we have a code for that where I am having. So list post. Okay, show only this we have seen in the, I think, previous class. So list post is there. Here we hard coded it, and then when we got the data, we were just looping through it through and sending it to the post item. Post item was showing it in a nice way. So why to write it again? I'll do the same thing. So I'll take this post and copy this, and in this return I will show this thing. Okay, this have to import, and this I've imported, and like this coming, and I will save it. So I got an error, post is undefined. Actually this is not post here, this is known as this dot state dot post. So I'll have to make a this dot state dot post, or why to write such a long thing. Okay, so I don't like long things. Let it deconstruct it through object destructuring, like that we have done above. Const post equal to this dot state, like this, so the code is much more cleaner. So let's save it and see. Now all this data is actually going to this post item and showing it in a nice way. We are getting all the 100 posts, not 4 posts and for all. We're getting all the 100 posts. So this is how you can show post also. So some even a site like Facebook, you get a lot of posts. It is shown like this only. Like the CSS is like different, but even in a site like Facebook, we see it like that. Okay, so we're done here, and tomorrow we are going to do hooks. And I forgot to send this code, so I will put this code in the description. So that is there, and so. Because tomorrow hooks are there, so we're going to do hooks tomorrow. So please watching it here, a lot of people are watching from LinkedIn also. Please do come to my YouTube channel and please do subscribe, so help our channel grow. And please, if you like me, please do hit the like button also. And we are going to do all this stuff. So our main thing is to make you a web app developer. So thinking more things to make you a web app developer. There were a lot of people who attended our private Zoom meeting yesterday, who got access to our premium course because they have attended our 12 hours boot camp. Okay, so that is there something. Please do follow me, you'll come to know all those stuff. Okay, so that is there. And follow me on LinkedIn. Okay, and if you want, okay, you can come to our WhatsApp groups also. So I will